Look, if you're planning to pursue your masters abroad, you're going to end up spending at least 20 lakhs or more often than not 50 to 60 lakh rupees, and in some extreme cases 80 lakh rupees. So you need a return on your investment. Now, most students generally think about their master's programs in terms of PR pathways that they can get, visa policies, as well as the job opportunities on graduation. But if you ask me, the real threat actually comes from AI, because while visa policies and PR pathways are all cyclical in nature, once your job is taken away by AI, it's gone forever. So, if you're planning to pursue your masters abroad, you need to make sure that you get into a field that is highly AI resistant. In this video, I'm going to take a look at the 5 most popular engineering streams in India and 2 options or 2 master specializations for each of these fields that are highly AI resistant according to me. I'll be explaining why I think that these specializations are AI resistant, and I'll be explaining which are the top 3 countries for each of these master specializations. So stick around till the end. My name is Amya. I'm a career counselor and I've guided hundreds of students to get into top ranked universities across the world. If you're new to the channel and if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. It'll be a win-win for the both of us. Now, the first engineering field that we're looking at is computer science. In computer science, you have a few fields such as software engineering that aren't actually AI resistant, but you have 2 really good fields that are AI resistant. So the first specialization for your masters would be cybersecurity, which is highly AI resistant. Why is it AI resistant? Because hackers keep changing the way they attack, and that is not something that AI can deal with. You do need human intervention. Now, if you want to build a career in cybersecurity, you should know 2 things. Number 1, it's a highly stressful job. If there ever is an attack while you're working, you need to stay in office till the time that thing is sorted out. The second thing is that it's a very certification oriented field. Lots of certifications, and the kind of jobs that you get depend on the certification. So be prepared to invest a lot of money and a lot of time and energy in the certifications that you get. But if you choose to work in cybersecurity or choose to do a master's in cybersecurity, then the top 3 countries according to me would be the United States, Canada, and the UK. Now, if you're looking for something that is less stressful and more research oriented, you can take a look at masters in artificial intelligence or masters in AI. This field is also highly AI resistant. Again, why? Because you need researchers to develop new AI models. AI has not reached a point where it can actually improve upon itself. You still need human intervention for this. But keep in mind that though this is less stressful than cybersecurity, it's a highly research intensive field and you need to be an expert at mathematics to do well or enjoy this field. Also be ready to do a lot of A-B testing and a lot of experimentation. The nature of research is such that you try 10 things and 1 thing succeeds. But if you are interested in pursuing a master's in AI, according to me, the number 1 country in the entire world, despite all the visa related issues that have been happening, is the United States. I've actually read a Stanford research paper that shows that funding for AI research is in United States is double of the next 9 countries combined. But still, if you're not comfortable with the USA, then the other 2 areas that you can look at is one, Ireland, because a lot of the American tech companies have their European Union headquarters and do AI development for the EU market from Ireland. And then the other country would be the UK, especially around the London area, which has a lot of tech startups. Now, the next engineering field that we're going to take a look at is electronics engineering. The first AI resistant field or specialization within electronics engineering is a master's in VLSI or a master's in chip design. By doing a program in VLSI or chip design, you can get a job with a chip manufacturer such as Nvidia, Intel, or AMD. This area is highly AI resistant because it involves hardware design and it involves collaboration across multiple different people, hundreds if not thousands of stakeholders. And if you want to study this program, then the best country in my opinion for chip design would be the United States, because that's where the headquarters of all the chip design manufacturers are. But if you want to get into manufacturing, then you might want to look at either Taiwan or South Korea. Now, the next field within electronics engineering, which is AI resistant, is a master's in robotics. Technically speaking, robotics is an interdisciplinary field. You could combine electronics engineering with computer science to get on the software side of robotics, or you could combine it with mechanical engineering to design the hardware for robotics. But either way, it's highly AI resistant because it involves development of different components and collaboration with different people. It also involves a lot of on-site work and things such as soldering, something that AI just cannot do. If you want to get into robotics, then the top countries in my opinion would be Germany, the United States, and Japan, or basically any country with an aging population, because the demand for robots increases with an aging population. Moving on, we're looking at mechanical engineering. Now, if you completed your undergrad in mechanical engineering, then one domain that you might want to pursue your master's in would be a master's in automotive or automobile engineering. Did you know that the average car has more than 30,000 parts? So naturally, creating a part requires a lot of collaboration and it requires a lot of work across different stakeholders, different factories around the world. Car manufacturing supply chains are probably the most complex supply chains in the world, and this is not something that AI can easily handle. So you do require a lot of human intervention. Plus, a lot of times in car factories, you have issues that crop up, and those can't be resolved by AI. You need humans to intervene and solve the problems on the factory floor at the end of the day. So if you want to get into automotive or automobile engineering, then the top 3 countries would be the top 3 car manufacturers of the world: Germany, Japan, and the United States. The other field that you can get into after pursuing a bachelor's in mechanical engineering would be to do a master's in aerospace or aeronautical engineering. Now, this is a highly regulatory oriented field, so you do need human intervention to sign off on an aircraft or a rocket design. You can't rely only on AI, which is why it is always going to be AI resistant. If you take a look at the aviation market of the world or the aerospace manufacturing market in the world, you majorly have 2 suppliers of planes. You have Airbus, which is located in the European Union, and then you have Boeing, which is located in the United States. So if you want to specialize in this field and if you want to get a job, go to either the United States or France or Germany. This is where 80% of the planes in the world are getting designed and manufactured. Now, one thing to note is that if you want a job in this field, you've got to be a bit patient. If you're looking at different jobs on different job sites, you will notice that many of the jobs are reserved for locals only. But that is because many of these jobs deal with designing military aircraft and drones, and so for national security reasons, they don't take international students. But you need not fret or worry about this. There are plenty of jobs in the private sector aviation market as well. Next, we're looking at civil engineering. I have met so many civil engineers who think that their careers are doomed and there is no scope. But I'm here to tell you that pursuing a master's in civil engineering can actually lead to some of the highest paying jobs in the world, provided you choose your specialization carefully. One of the most AI resistant specializations for civil engineering is actually transportation engineering. So if you do your master's in transportation engineering, you later on get jobs that deal with urban mobility. So you'll be designing things such as seaports, airports, roads, railways, metros, and the works. Now, this sort of design actually requires a lot of negotiation and stakeholder management with people from areas such as policy making and urban planning. This is not something that AI can deal with, which is why this field is going to be AI resistant. If you're looking to work in this field, then the top 3 countries, in my opinion, would be the United States, Australia, and the UAE for now, because these 3 countries have a lot of work lined up in the infrastructural space. The other master specialization that you can do after completing a bachelor's in civil engineering would be to do a master's in environmental engineering. These are the guys who design solutions and infrastructure to deal with solid waste, human air pollution, noise pollution, and water pollution. Now, this is a very important field, especially in developed economies with high amounts of regulation. So if you want to work in this field, then you need to go to countries such as Germany, Scandinavia, or Canada. Finally, we have biomedical engineering. If you're a biomedical engineer, then according to me, one of the best master specializations that you can do is a master's in medical device engineering. So these are the people who design and develop hospital equipment such as MRI machines and CT scan machines. Sounds boring, but is extremely critical given the world's aging population. This field requires a lot of clinical trials and is not something that you can rely on AI for, which is why again it's AI resistant. Top 3 countries for this field are the United States, Ireland, and Germany. Now, if you want to transition your career as a biomedical engineer to something which is more on the computer science domain or related to computer science, then you can choose to do a master's in bioinformatics. So what do these guys do? So these guys basically use a whole lot of data to improve health outcomes. So as someone who's done their master's in bioinformatics, you might use, say, human genetic data to predict what sort of disorders a person might have. So yes, it's related to biomedical engineering, but it's also related to computer science. The top 3 countries for this particular specialization, according to me, would be the United States, the UK, and Germany, because they have large-scale biotech and pharma clusters. So according to me, those were the 10 different master specializations related to engineering which are AI resistant and which, by the way, will have a lot of jobs in the next 5 to 10 years. However, keep in mind that there are a lot of master specializations that lead to jobs which will be taken away by AI. So if you're considering a different master's program, then please let me know in the comments and we'll get back to you and tell you whether it is AI resistant or not. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.